So today I'll be going over the harsh truths you need to learn as a young footballer. So these are the harsh realities that you'll face when you're trying to climb your way up before you get to that top level. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to go through different trials, different tribulations. You're gonna have to learn some hard lessons as well, some hard truths that and things that probably no not what's it called, things that no one will really tell you. So I'm here to tell you today about what to expect on your journey to becoming a pro, or wherever at whatever level you want to become. If you want to play semi-pro at first team, or you want to go to the Premier League level, you're still gonna have to probably face the same sort of problems, issues, trials, like I said. So I'm gonna tell you the harsh realities, the harsh truths to expect on your way to the top. So the first harsh truth of trying to make it as a footballer is that you need to learn as a young player that the process is probably going to be very boring and very mundane. Like, everyone thinks success is this thing of like I said, you see the guys on Instagram, you see the athletes on Instagram who are, especially the boxers as well. You see them boxing in a boxing gym, you see them doing all this, you see them sweating, lifting the weights, running up hills, banging the hammer on the tire, and all of that. But to be honest, yeah, making it as like a pro athlete, or in your case as a footballer, it's not really that the exciting things that really matter. It's more like the small little insignificant things that seem like they don't matter at the time, but compounded over time they actually play a big difference. It can separate you from, basically separate you from the pack. So this could include just the little things like deciding to eat clean that day when you really wanted to order Uber Eats, literally little things like that. Or go in bed that hour early instead of just scrolling on TikTok, Snap, Instagram. Yeah, just little things like that. Or coming home tired from training. Yeah, you've come home tired from training. You've had like a 2 hour training session. It's 9 p.m. You're ready to just go bed. But it's the little difference of you deciding, no, I'm gonna do my stretching routine. I might be tired, but I'm still gonna stretch out. I'm still gonna make sure my muscles are good. My muscles are feeling tight right now, but I might be tired, but I'm still gonna do the stretch routine. I'm still gonna take that 20 minutes to stretch out. Literally, just little things like this can make a difference. Because obviously, little things like this, it's not just what it actually does for your body, but your mentality as well. It breeds more discipline. It basically just levels up your discipline. So, like for the example of the stretching routine, you're tired, you don't really want to do it, but when you do it, you've leveled up your discipline. So as you go through the stages of your career, you're not gonna skip out on like what's good. You're not gonna skip out on these type of things. You hear about Ronaldo, about how after every game, or after every Champions League game, even if it's away from home, he always goes back to the what's it called? He always goes back to the training center, and he always recovers. He always stretches out. He always gets in the ice baths, and basically just prioritizes recovery so he can wake up the next day and perform at his optimum. And he's the only one that's doing it. No other of his teammates are following him to the gym. No one else is doing that, and you can see why he's one of the greatest players of all time. And like I said as well, these things might seem boring, they may be boring, but the thing is with doing the boring things over and over again is that whatever you do today, you're more likely to do the next day and the next day and the next day. That's why when you like do bad habits, let's say you order that Uber Eats, yeah, you might seem, oh, it's not really a big deal, but you've just by you ordering that Uber Eats, you're more likely to have it the next day, and then maybe you have it the next day again. Maybe you're like, ah, oh, twice in a row isn't that deep. Then you have it the next day again. Then you have it the next day again. Whereas if you ate clean, you're more likely the next day to be like, I'm gonna just eat clean food again, and then again, and then again, and then that's how the ball starts rolling. That's how the consistency starts coming in. So yeah, literally the first point is literally that success is not gonna be about all these exciting things. It's not really all the time about, that day where you get up and you grind for 5 hours, you do gym, you spend 2 hours in the gym, and then you spend 3 hours on the training pitch. It's not really about that. It's literally just about the consistent little things, just the little things that other people might not be doing. Because and let's be honest, any idiot can wake up with motivation one day and go train for 4 hours. Like, that's not special. The guy who's special is the one where it's like he does the small stuff every single day, whether he's tired, he's bored, he's angry, something's happened in his life, but he keeps sticking to that routine over and over and over again. And then yeah, eventually it compounds, and then they create a gap between themselves and the pack. So yeah, that's the first point. Literally just master the boring stuff, master the mundane stuff, because not everything's gonna be exciting. Now, the next hard truth about trying to become a footballer is that you're probably not gonna grow up having a normal childhood. So the thing is with becoming a pro athlete is literally that you're gonna have to learn to grow up quickly, because in order for you to make it, you're probably gonna have to dedicate your life to it. Literally to have a literally just to get that opportunity of trying to make it, you're probably gonna have to dedicate your life to it. Like everything you do in your life is predicated on you becoming a better footballer. Especially if you show early promise at a young age, especially if like you're in an academy at 8 years old, you're probably gonna have maybe one of your maybe you have both parents. Everything you do, they're gonna like get onto you and focus on like, yo, but is this good for you as a footballer? Is this good for you as a footballer? Will this help your game? You tell your mom, oh, I want to go see my friends. They'll probably say back to you, oh, but is this gonna help you as a footballer? You say to your dad, yo, I'm trying to go to a party, and he's like, what would your coach think about that? I also heard Peter Crouch talking about it, like from the ages of like growing up from like 12 all the way to like 18. His dad always used to do that. Anytime he wanted to go, let's say he wanted to go down to the fish and chip shop, he'd always tell his dad, I'm going down to the fish and chip shop. And his dad would always be like, would that help you as a footballer though? Dad, I wanna go to this party. And his dad would be like, but what would your coach think about this though? And it's like I said, you don't really get that normal childhood. You don't get that sort of carefree. You don't, yeah, that carefree sort of energy of like, oh, I'm just young, I'm just having fun, blah blah. Nothing's that deep. To me, it's like I said, if you're trying to become a pro athlete at that young age, everything is that deep, because the margins are so small, and you're going up against so many people. Because deep, how many people want to become a footballer? We've all heard the statistics. I can't even remember what it is. It's like one in, and we don't even know, one in like I said, but it's small in it. We know it's small, but yeah. So for you to even make it from a young age, especially if you show that you have serious talent, you're probably not gonna have a normal childhood. You're probably gonna have to dedicate literally your life to it. Everything's gonna be predicated around making you a better footballer. So yeah, like I said, this will probably mean you missing out on like the typical like sort of young person, like really young child slash teenage experiences. Like for me, for example, I did the thing with me, because I didn't dedicate my life to it like I should have. I wish, looking back, I wish I would have, but you're probably gonna have to miss out on like the typical experience that I experienced. Things like, what I'm saying, going out to them parties, going out to the raves, or just going chicken shop with your boys and just munching every pretty much like 3 times a week, going chicken shop, or just even like riding your bikes, or like hanging or just hanging around after school with your boys, and like meeting people from like other schools in the areas. You're probably not gonna get to experience these things. And to be honest, looking back at now, them things, you look back when you're older and you're like, it was cool in it, but it was overrated. But you do make some good memories along the way. Like, certain things happen. Like, you go, it's cool. You go to like the spot where you chill out, and there's a fight or something, and you always talk, and you and your boys always talk about the day. Oh, remember when so and so had that fight? You get two people fighting from another school, whether it's boys, whether it's girls fighting. And yeah, obviously at the time it's like, yo, it's entertaining and that, but you're probably gonna have to miss out on things like that. Like it's probably just gonna have to be like, yo, I go school, what's it called? I wake up, I go school, come home, get ready for training, train, eat clean, and then just go to bed, and just repeat and do that every single day. Whereas you see probably on your phone, you see probably on IG, on Snap, you see your other friends having fun, and you're thinking, damn, I'm missing out. What's it called? You see your friends at parties, linking girls, all of this basically. But you just have to tell yourself that, yo, I'm missing out now, but if I become a pro bowler, it's all gonna be worth it. So that's point number two about the harsh truth of becoming a footballer, is that you're probably gonna miss out on having a childhood if you really want to dedicate, what's it called? Dedicate you have to dedicate your life to it, like I said. Especially if you show promise at a young age. If you show that you're a star boy at like 8, 9 years old, trust me, people around you are gonna basically like, what's that thing called? They're gonna regulate your behavior. They're gonna seriously regulate your behavior. They're gonna be like, no, you can't eat that, you can't go there, you have to stay focused, become a footballer, you have to make it. And yeah, you're gonna have to just grow up basically. You're just gonna have to accept that, yo, I'm what's it called? I don't have a normal talent level. I'm above, I've got a what's it called? I've got a high talent level, so this is just what I have to do now, innit? So yeah, that's point number two. You're probably not gonna have a normal child. That's why as well, when you see these like Olympians from like other countries, you see like these what's it called? These Chinese weightlifters who are competing at like 15 or 16 years old, or these like gymnasts who are competing at like 14. They're in the Olympics. When they always do interviews, hear them say, nah, I didn't have a normal childhood, blah blah. And sometimes this could lead to them like being depressed. I think this happened to, what's her name, Simone Biles. I think she was depressed. I think it had something to do with like, oh, she never really had a proper childhood. She was just training all the time. She never got that feeling of like hanging out with friends or doing any just like the normal, typical normal like 12-year-old girl stuff. While all her friends were like just being normal 12-year-old girls, she was in that gymnasium just training, just training, just training, just training. So yeah, like I said, it's a big price to pay, but obviously at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure if you asked her right now, she wouldn't change it. She'll literally tell you that, yo, I don't regret anything. I don't regret anything. I'll keep everything the same because obviously it's paid off for her. Now she's like the best in the world at what she does. So yeah. Now the last harsh truth that you're gonna have to learn as a player is that you've got a limited window. You've got a short time period. Like this also sort of bridges into the last point that I made, that you don't really have a normal childhood. And the reason you don't have a normal childhood is because everyone around you knows that you've got a limited window. So this third point is about you having a limited window. You might be 11 years old, 12 years old. Now you're thinking, man, I got time. Like I got time to grow. I got time to do this and that. I don't have to train too hard. I don't have to do too much. But to be honest, one day you wake up and you'll be 17 years old and you'll be looking around thinking, fuck, like where did that time go? Like it happened to me, bro. I looked around. I remember I was like 17 and I was thinking, damn, like I'm 17 already. Like, but just the other day I was 11 years old playing on like the first ever team I ever joined, and it's like, yeah, that time goes quickly, but especially with me, what's it called? I was affected by COVID as well. I pretty much missed like what, see a whole season basically due to COVID, because obviously we missed half of the 1920 season and like half of the 2021 season. So put that together, I basically missed like half a whole season as well. So yeah, I was sat at 17 thinking, damn, I'm already 17. Like I'm literally next season I'm gonna be 18, and it's like after 18s you just have to go. It's either straight to 23s or straight to the first team, or you have to try to find the first team and sort of work your way up from there. And yeah, like I said, you might be 12 years old right now, 11 years old, even 13 years old, thinking, I got time. But trust me, them years go like that. As soon as you leave secondary school when you're 16, it's like it might hit you it might literally hit you when you leave secondary and you'll be like, damn, I'm 16 and I'm still not close to what's it called? I'm still not close to where I want to be. And you start thinking, damn, like I should have put in the work from like a younger age. Because that's, like I said, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, damn, if only I'd like locked in at like 10 years old instead of, like, for me personally, I feel like I locked in at like 14 years old, but I was there thinking, damn, imagine if I locked in at 8, 9, 10. Because obviously, like I said, football is a young man's game. So it's just, so during those development stages, you're gonna have to just mature, just try and mature quickly, try to develop as quickly as possible. Because yeah, and that's another, yeah, and obviously as a kid, it's not really your fault. It's just about trying to. It's more about having like good people around you. You know what I'm saying? Good people around you who can guide you. Maybe have your, what's it called, your dad around you, your uncles around you who are just getting onto you, who are saying no, train, train, train. And obviously at the time you're thinking, nah. You'll probably think as a 10-year-old, you probably want to like do something a normal 10-year-old would do. You see your friends doing something, and you want to do it as well. Your parents are like, nah, you can't do that. You have to be a footballer. You probably look around and be like, man, these guys are dickheads. These guys are this. These guys are. Bro, you probably like end up hating the people around you. But once you make it, once you make it, or once you get to a certain age, you're gonna be like, okay, that's why they told me to do this. That's why they didn't let me do this, or that's why they made me do this. Because like I said, football is a young man's game. So even when you're like 9 years old, you have to be thinking to when you're 16, like, yo, I need to be putting in this work now, because the competition is mad, and obviously competition is mad, and there's not too many places up for grabs. Because deep it, think about the number of how many people are trying to make it, and how many spaces there actually are to become a pro footballer, from like League Two all the way to Premier League, or whatever country you're in. There's a limited amount of places compared to the people who want to be pro footballers. So in that short time period, you have to make sure you lock in. Obviously, it'll be beneficial if you have, like I said, older people around you to guide you. But even you yourself, if you're a young player, just make sure you remember my words when I say the time literally goes like this. So every game, every season, every training session, put give 100%. Don't say, oh, I'll try hard next training session. I'll try hard next game. I'll do this next season. Nah. Everything. Make sure you have that mentality of like everything matters. Doesn't matter if it's like a just a little 1 hour training session on a Saturday that was optional. Yo, go to that training session. Like have that mentality that everything matters. And obviously that will give yourself the best chance to make it. That way you even if you don't make it, you leave the game by saying, yo, I might have not made it, but no regrets. Like I put in everything I could put in. I reached my max potential, but it just didn't work out for me. Let me go do something else. And to be honest, when you have that mentality, it's like, what can you do? Like you're not gonna be depressed about it. You're not gonna be bitter. You're not gonna be sour. You're not gonna be one of these guys saying, "Oh, I could have made it, but I could have played for Arsenal, but I had a knee injury." Now you're not gonna be one of them guys. You're just gonna be like, "Yo, it is what it is." And another thing as well is that when you're trying to make it, you don't really have too many years to have that sort of like childlike innocence of just, oh yeah, football is just a game where it's like I get to kick a ball around with my friends. At a very young age, you're gonna have people telling you that, yo, the competition is high. Everything's gonna feel like a competition rather than like I said, having that like childhood innocence of like, oh yeah, we're just kicking ball with my friends and having fun. And obviously the thing is, yeah, if you still play for like obviously if you play in an academy, they're gonna encourage this. So like everyone's gonna have this mentality, so it's gonna be easier. But if you don't play for an academy at a young age, you're gonna have a lot of sort of players around you, parents around you, you sort of like say to their kids, oh, don't worry, it's just you're just here to have fun, blah 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 blah. But you sort of need to just block that all out and say to yourself that, yo, nah, I'm not here for fun. Like I'm not here for games. I'm here to destroy anyone that's trying to anyone that's trying to beat me, anyone that's trying to get to the pro level ahead of me. You're gonna have that sort of mentality at a very young age, and obviously sort of makes the game less fun, I guess. But you just have to sort of tap into that mentality and sort of make that mentality fun. You have to take pride in having that mentality of like, nah, I'm here to kill today. Like I'm here to destroy this team. Like I'm here to batter them. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care what it is. No, I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to do my job and go home. So yeah, yeah. Like I said, that's the sort of mentality you have to have when you have that short period of time to really step make your mark, really get noticed, and really just try to make it a high level, make it an academy. So I hope you enjoyed the vid, and I've been JT, and I'm out.